Most people assume the way church money works today is normal, necessary, biblical, inevitable. But the Bible never actually says that. And once you see what Scripture does say, the modern system starts to feel less like evolution and more like replacement. From the beginning, money in Scripture had a purpose, but it was never accumulation, never expansion, never preservation of institutions. It was provision, needs met, people sustained, mission supported, not systems protected. And that difference matters, because when money shifts from serving people to sustaining structures, something subtle changes. The system starts needing money instead of money serving the mission. In the early church, money moved in one direction, outward, to the poor, to widows, to those displaced, to the work spreading beyond the room. No ownership class, no permanent elite, no professional dependence on donations. Leaders worked, communities shared, needs were met. And the moment money created imbalance, Scripture didn't celebrate it, it confronted it. Fast forward to now, church money often flows upward, not outward, into buildings, into brands, into platforms, into expansion plans. The question is rarely, are people being freed? It's, can the system survive? And once survival becomes the priority, the system must be protected. Messages soften, questions are avoided, disruption becomes a threat, not because people are evil, but because structures are fragile. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Bible never planned for faith to be financially dependent on constant growth. That's a business model, not a spiritual one. The early church grew, yes, but it didn't need growth to survive. Persecution could scatter it. Poverty could reduce it. Leadership could be killed. And it still functioned, because it wasn't funded like an institution. It was sustained like a family. When church money works like investment capital, success must be visible, numbers must increase, giving must be maintained, and attendance must be maintained. And once money requires momentum, truth becomes expensive, because some truths cost people, some truths shrink crowds, some truths threaten income. So the pressure is subtle, not lie. Just don't say that, not manipulate, just frame it carefully, not control, just manage expectations. This is why the Bible treats money as spiritually dangerous, not because it's evil, but because it reshapes loyalty. Jesus didn't say money corrupts systems. He said it competes for allegiance, and no structure can serve two masters. The question isn't whether churches need money, they do. The question is what the system demands in return. Does money serve people, or do people serve the system? Does giving create freedom or dependency? Does it fund mission or preserve machinery? Because the moment money becomes untouchable, it stops being a tool and becomes a ruler. The Bible never planned for church money to work this way, not because generosity was optional, but because power was dangerous. Money was meant to move, not accumulate, to flow, not anchor, to support life, not protect structures that can't survive without it. So here's the question I won't answer for you. If the early church functioned without this financial model, and if Scripture repeatedly warns what money does to power, at what point did necessity quietly become normal? And who benefits most from the way church money works now?